All right, guys, we're out to see Jim Gilliland of Shadow 6. Jim's going to be joined by Jason Wilson of LUCID Optics.
Hey folks, Jim Gilliland here with Jason Wilson from LUCID Optics. Now, the market has gotten very saturated with a lot of different new scope companies. All right, so what I want to do this time is I want to introduce LUCID Optics and have Jason talk over his product and where he fits on the market and how he got there. All right, so Jason, here is one of your flagship lines on your powered optics. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the features on it?
Sure. Why don't you cut your hands here? This is our L5 4-16. It is a 30-millimeter tube, and it's a hunting-sized, long-range precision optic.
Sure, and the size is great. In 4-16, the length is great. I see you're using 30-millimeter tubes. It gives you 60 minutes of travel inside.
Yep.
And I notice you also got locking turrets too, so you pull up, turn, and push down. That way, when you're climbing in your tree stand, or you're moving, a law enforcement guy's moving into a position or whatever, he's not pulling his turrets off. You got 16 power in half increments, and you got a nice ocular piece on the back that works very well. But there's one feature that you really have integrated into this that we want to talk more about.
Yeah, that's the L5 reticle. Kind of the hallmark of the line in our magnified optics is going to be that L5 reticle. What it is an MOA measuring tape. For example, in this optic, when you're up on 16, each of the increments below the 0 are 2 minutes apart. If you back off, since it's second focal plane, to 8, those now become 4 minutes apart. So if you know your ballistic drop in minutes, it makes it easy to make a holdover shot with just using the reticle. You don't have to dial the turrets if you don't want to.
Sure. So, and it's the same way, growing up in the military and shooting that style, as we're using mil scopes as opposed to minutes. But as long as you have a minute system or a mil system, you're still good. And it works the same way. So where, on the military side, all of our data is in mils, and if we want to shoot something at 2.5 mils, we go to 2.5 inside our reticle and shoot. This allows you to do the same thing. So you got your dope card on the side, say you want to shoot 500 yards, and either you don't have time to dial or you just don't want to dial. You look down and say, okay, well that's 40 minutes angle between my 100-yard 0 and 500 yards with this rifle, and you just go down to where it's at on the reticle and you hold there and shoot. So it's a pretty well laid out platform. Now, I understand there's two things that you really focused on in this series for a price point, and that's your quality of glass.
Correct. And
your mechanical correctness.
Correct.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, there's a lot of scopes out there offering features and benefits that are similar. I think where LUCID is separate from that group is we went the extra budget on our glass and our coatings. And we made sure, crazy sure, that our mechanics worked properly. The reticle's metered right, and the turrets move exactly as they should, straight and square.
Sure, which is a big thing, especially when you talk about long-range shooting. Yes. You've got to have precise stuff inside this instrument. So for what you have here, I mean, this is a very good entry priced. I wouldn't say it's an entry-level scope, but I'm saying it's a very entry-priced optic. And one of the biggest questions I get asked all the time is like, hey Jim, I really want to get into F-class shooting, or I really want to get into PRS stuff, but I'm a young guy, or I'm married, got a couple of kids, or I just don't want to spend that kind of money. I don't want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on an optic, And quite honestly, most optics come from, generally speaking, the same place.
They do.
So there are a few things that make them different. However, it's what you have put into it and made it for your product. So, guys, you don't have to spend a ton of money to get a good, solid, quality product. And that's kind of what I wanted to bring Jason on and have him talk about, his experience in shooting, how he got frustrated at the price point for the quality he was getting. And you didn't have the mousetrap you wanted, so you went and built your mousetrap.
That's correct.
And, that's part of being an American right there.
Amen, brother.
So it's got all the features that you could ever want. And it's a great scope. So we're going to look forward to shooting this, later on today and quite possibly after that.
Look forward to it.
So, all right, guys, again, look out there, see what you got, and then make a good selection. Until next time, hunt the wolf and protect the flock.